All right, good morning, everybody. Oh, what was that, Kip?
Do you need, oh, go ahead, sorry.
No, I was just going to, yeah, so I'll do a quick little hello. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Before we get started, just a reminder that if you have any questions, please enter them in the WebEx Q&A box, which is in the lower right of your screen. If you do not see that box, just click the question mark icon in the upper right, and it will open up for you. With that, Kip, I'll make you the presenter. There you go, and we should be good to go now. Take it away, sir.
I need to share.
We can see your screen. That's okay.
Yes.
We can see your screen now.
But you don't see the. I'm trying to. I actually thought you were going to run through the slides, so I'm trying to share that, but it's not letting me share.
Actually, up along the top of the screen, I loaded the presentation in already. So up at the top, right next to Quick Start and Event Info, you should see another tab that has your presentation already loaded.
So do you see?
Yes, I see your deck now.
But I can't page it. There it goes. I got it.
There you go. Okay,
so
good.
Thank you, people, and sorry for the confusion, but welcome to the CA Communities webcast. Today I'm going to show you how easy it can be for your users to work with their DB2 data using CA FileMaster Plus for DB2 for zOS. You'll find as you use the product and you see the demo that CA FileMaster Plus for DB2 will flatten the learning curve for your users by providing both an ISPF interface and an Eclipse RCP and plugin, and by offering intuitive methods of exploring your DB2 data and objects. Right now you see the ISPF main menu for FileMaster Plus for DB2. We're going to focus on the view, edit, and the extract and unload, reload utilities. As you look at these interfaces, you'll find that we try to make them as similar as possible to help minimize the time it takes for people to master the capabilities of the tool. We're going to look most closely at view, recognizing that edit is pretty much the same, with the only difference that you can save your data under edit. So here's what your users would see the first time they come into the ISPF interface. They'll see a lot of wild-carded values, and this is intended to help your users explore the DB2 objects that are at their disposal. I'm just going to hit Enter here, and the first thing we see is the list of subsystems. I'm going to select the subsystem I'm interested in. Now I could hit Enter again, and we would see all of the objects created by all the creators, but rather than do that, I'm going to look at the ones that I want to focus on. I know the creator, and I know the name of the table, but I'm not exactly sure, so I'm going to wildcard it. I'm going to select the table that I'm interested in, and immediately we're placed into the data. I haven't used a filter. I haven't done any type of selection, and I'm displaying what we call a multi-record format. There are a lot of options that are available during this, and the user has access to them with a primary command of prof or profile. One of the ones I'm going to show right off is the null indicator. And actually, I have to recognize that that's only available in edit, so I will talk about that a little later. The other thing I'm going to show is if you wanted, because we have such a big table, you want to show more rows. Now I'm going to hit PF3. I narrowed the display for some of the data. And This allows me to see more columns. We can scroll and see even some more, but because I've narrowed the data, there might be fields that aren't completely shown. And for instance, our friend Freddie Mercury here is not completely spelled out. So if you want to explore a wider column, you use, actually my favorite command, explode. Put your cursor on the column and hit enter. And you'll see the full column. I mentioned that we're in what we call multi-record format. We also have the ability to see a single record on the screen through single record format. And now, as we scrolling up and down, we'll scroll within the record. To scroll between records, you scroll F11 and F12, F11 and F10, up and down. And then to return to the multi-record format, MF, and it brings you in at the row that you were just looking at. I want to show you the filter capabilities. I want to specify that I'm going to use a filter. And I want to look at the members in the data set, DB2 filt. I look at these and I'm going to see that none of these actually apply to the table that I'm using. So I need to create a new filter. Simply specify Y in the create update filter. Now I want to specify the name of the filter. And you see 4 options in front of you. First one you'd want to use would be to select the columns you want to display. Typing all selects all of them. I decide I don't want to display the phone number. So I remove that just by over-typing it. I hit enter. Well, at this point, I next want to specify the filter criteria. So option 3. Insert criteria. I want to look at the employee's hire date. Actually, I don't. I want to look at the hourly rate. So I select that column. I want to see everyone who's making more than $50 an hour. At this point, I hit F3 to save and use the filter. And now I've effectively filtered out my higher earner, seeing my higher earners. The other capability the filter offers is sorting. Go back into the filter, decide that I want to sort by department as the first filter in ascending order. One of the nice things about the product is it has field level help. So it tells you exactly what you need to do in order to use the fields. In this case, the order field. Again, F3, confirming, and now I've refiltered the data. You have commands typical commands you expect in view and edit. Find command. Just scrolling through the data, finding all the occurrences of the field. You have exclude. And then the show or include. And then I wanted to show you through edit one of the additional capabilities in edit. In this case, I'm going to eliminate the filter. and I'm not seeing the null character indicator. So I'm going to have, I have another table that I can. So now, this is what I was trying to show you before. We have this column called the null character indicator. What this tells you is that obviously this field is not null, and that's to help you differentiate between, for instance, blank data and data that has never been entered. I can make this field null by typing Y in there, and you'll see how we represent the null characters with the dashes. On the profile panel, you'll see how the dash is indicated as the null character indicator. I'm going to cancel out of this so I don't save that data and get the confirm field. Now I want to show you the utilities. You use extract and reload. Probably the most common use is migrating data from production to test. But this is going to give you the ability to extract it from one database and reload it into a different one. So you'll see that it actually carried forth the values from my prior session, so it knows that this is the data that I've been working with. Again, specifying the name, the creator, all the wildcards work here, just as they do in the other panels. It's asking me to select the data set that I wanted to use because I specified this disposition of share. I'm actually going to create a new data set. Give it plenty of space because I don't know how much data I've got. You'll see we offer the same filter capabilities, including selecting which columns to unload. And we offer multiple modes, right? You can, as in this case, edit JCL that could be submitted to do the unload. Today we're just going to do the unload online. You get to specify the isolation level. And again, a user who isn't familiar with DB2 might not understand those terms. So the field level help is going to give them the ability to understand what it is that they're, the selection they have to make. So the unload is running. And I hope it doesn't make me sorry. This usually goes fairly quickly. If we do get bogged down, I can go into the GUI demo. I wonder if there we go. All right, so now it's showing me the unload details, how many records were extracted, and it sure seemed longer than 48 seconds to me. But that's what it was. F3 to come out of this and go into reload, where I would, now obviously this hasn't carried forth all the parameters. we can't do that. I'll just specify the same table name and not execute this. In this case, I've got the JCL, which I'm not going to submit, but that would reload that data that we just created. So now I'm going to switch gears and go to the GUI, and bear with me while I get it shared. I hope everyone sees that now on their screens. So as soon as I sign in, I'm presented with a login screen. Type my credentials. And right away, I'm presented with the list of the DB2 objects that are at my disposal. Again, this is helping your users explore the DB2 system without necessarily having a lot of foreknowledge. I'm going to go into that same subsystem. And now I'm being asked to select or identify the objects I want to work with. Again, we have wildcard capabilities here. And by specifying the criteria, clicking OK, I'm presented with the tables that meet those criteria. Double click, and now I have the ability to select my data and sort it. In this case, I'm just going to remove an hourly rate field. I'm prompted in this case, I'm just going to make sure I'm getting everyone who's not null in the department. Click OK. I'm quickly at a subset of my data. As I scroll through the data, the application is going to return to the system until, in this case, it gets all the data. One of the nice things about the GUI is it does allow you to open multiple files at one time. In fact, you can even open objects from multiple DB2 subsystems. That's not what I'm showing you now, but that's entirely possible. Clicking through, now the user could be able to access multiple tables at one time. And again, as you scroll, the product's going to locate additional data and load it. Editing data in the GUI is quite easy. You have to enable an edit mode, and now you're able to overtype or insert fields as you want. If someone's changed their last name, as you change data, you'll see that it's presented in the Change Manager window so that you have a clear view of everything you've done during this session. You've got a filter capability. It's going to identify all the records that contain specific text. That's in any field, but it's a nice way to narrow your data down. It's almost more like a search capability. I have the ability to commit or roll back my changes. In this case, I'm just going to roll them back. And again, now you have multiple ways for your users to access their DB2 data using an intuitive interface that helps them explore their DB2 subsystems and objects. That's the end of the presentation, and I'll be happy to take questions on it. Len, I don't hear any questions. I don't see anything in the chat window.
I don't see any either, Kip. If that's all we have, we can always wrap up early.
Okay, well, thank you, everyone, for attending.
All right, thanks very much, Kip. Thanks, everyone who attended, and we'll get the replay posted later today. Thanks very much.